Hey guys, and welcome back to Battlefront Updates and another news update for Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is the second one I think of the year because there hasn't really been a lot of news yet. And I think we'll still have to wait for another 1 or 2 weeks before we get the actual news. Or well, to be fair, it's 13 days until Dooku arrives, so maybe closer to 1 week to be completely honest. But Ben is now back in the office, so he has started responding to a lot of questions and suggestions out on Reddit and Twitter, and I wanted to bring some of those up that actually give us some details on what we can expect both in the January and in the February patch. So, well, let's just dive straight into it. Starting off, he did confirm out on Reddit that we will be getting Geonosis, Arcade, Blast and Heroes vs Villains maps in the next patch on the 23rd. So that is very good to hear, especially the Blast and Heroes vs Villains part in my opinion. I would imagine that those two maps plus Arcade will probably be in the first phase. I feel like that's the area that makes the most sense, because obviously it's really open on the other parts. I mean, but to be fair, the second part could probably work as well with all the little ups and downs and the little rocks, and I don't know, they could technically probably make like 3 blast maps on one, but I do think it's gonna be the first phase. I feel like that makes the most sense for all 3 of those game modes, so I'm looking forward to jumping into that on the 23rd. And then he also confirmed that they have done some force power tweaks, and he said that the force power tweaks will be going into the next update. No details there on exactly what that refers to, but I'm hoping maybe some fixes for like the force pushes, and especially Obi-Wan's force push that still cancels itself, which is incredibly infuriating. And then of course the things like Unleash and Luke's force push not hitting properly, which has been an issue for, well, I think since launch pretty much. And maybe even Maul Saber Throw, although that's technically not a force power. Well, we'll see. I hope we'll see a good list of bug fixes for the January patch. And then when he was asked about if we will be getting a Dooku trailer, he said we're working on a community update video. So I think that makes sense. We did not have a dedicated Grievous trailer, so I don't think we will have a dedicated Dooku trailer either. However, a community video is good enough by far, because we get to hear Dennis talk, and we also get to see footage, both gameplay and a little bit of cinematic footage, same as, well, the trailers usually have. So I think a community update video is perfect for just one hero, and then they can do a trailer in February where they will show off Anakin, well, probably Dooku as well, and the large scale game mode obviously. So yeah, I think that's good. I'm looking forward to seeing the community update, and I'm very glad that that has become a regular thing now with the last, well, I guess 3 updates if you count this one, which is very good to see. And then he also posted out on Twitter saying, quick update on some Battlefront 2 things. Currently have a transmission working through the pipeline, which should go live before and cover the Darth Tyrannus update. And he clarified that he meant before the actual patch. So if it's coming out on the 23rd, I'd imagine maybe we'll get the community transmission on the 21st or the 22nd. That will include everything about the Darth Tyrannus update. I'm not sure yet if we will have a dedicated Dooku transmission. We've had that for the previous heroes, but he has not said anything about that as far as I know. I mean, the update one usually covers most of it, but it would be nice to get a dedicated Darth Tyrannus Count Dooku community transmission showing off both his abilities, star cards, skins, and obviously just getting a first glimpse of him in the game. I don't know why that would not happen, but fingers crossed we still get it. And if he says anything about it, I will of course give you an update. And also February will be where we talk about trooper customization, lightsaber changes, emote wheel and more. So it seems like the lightsaber changes are not making it into the January update, unfortunately, but it's coming in December instead. But I'm really hoping it's gonna turn out well and change the lightsaber combat quite significantly, not just remove the stagger, or just removing the stagger will be a big difference, but hopefully it will just feel smoother overall. That's what I really hope. Same goes for the emote wheel. That I'm not sure if that's gonna be... It's kind of been talked about both a tactical emote wheel and more like an emote wheel, actually emotes. So we'll see if they have things like, oh, capture this point or whatever, because I don't think that's very relevant in Galactic Assault, and I think it's fine if we just get a normal emote wheel where we can equip all the emotes we have. But for the large scale game mode, it would be very nice to have tactical emotes that we can use with our squad mates to simply say, oh, go to command post A and capture it, or similarly, so everyone just doesn't just spread out different command posts and don't communicate, simply put. And as for the trooper customization that he mentions, the only trooper customization that I really know of that has been talked about is obviously the armored clone officer. So I'm guessing that's probably what he's referring to. I'd love to get more than that, and more customization overall, but I'm not really sure if there is anything else in the pipeline, or if it's simply the armored clone officers that they are referring to here. But I think that is all the news I've got to talk about today. It's good to be back with some news updates, although the news have been a bit scarce, but I'd imagine that later in this month, and especially in February, there is going to be a lot to talk about, and I also hope we get the live streams going soon, so that we get some direct interaction with the developers that way, which I think would be pretty neat. But thank you very much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.